probably not supposed to be playing this nigga music. I fuck with this song so hard, bro. I've been listening to this shit all week. Alright, bet. That was Spin by Duxe Beats and OTG Bangout. I fuck with that song hard, bro. I've been listening to that all week. That shit fire. What's up? I am here with Prodigal, the homie, Tristan. My bad, I did not mean to say your first name again. I apologize.
Good, bro. What's up, y'all? How you doing?
All right, my bad. I need to introduce the podcast again. Hello, I am Cam, a.k.a. Camo of Dresden, and this is the Myrtle Street Podcast. This is a North Carolina-based podcast for North Carolina artists, musicians, and personalities. This is going to be a great episode today. I am here with the homie Tristan. Fuck, I am sorry. I did not mean to curse that loud, but I don't mean it. Cause I prefer, I don't mean to be an asshole when I say I prefer, but the name Prodigal sounds so much better when you say Tristan the Prodigal. It's like the shit just flow right. It just is, it's nice. And I want you to shout out your links right now.
My links, all right. Y'all can find me on Instagram. It's called The Lennon Effect 22. That's my art page. That's where I do all my graphic designs, album covers, paintings. I upload photography, stuff like that. I would give out my personal one, but y'all can't have that one.
All right, the homie Prodigal is the person that made the Myrtle Street Podcast logo. I have just gotten that from him. You'll see it later on the Myrtle Street Podcast YouTube page, and you'll probably most likely see it on my Instagram page, Camo of Dresden. And what was your creation? What made you create the one you created? Did you go through a process? I knew I gave you the creation, but
you just kind of gave me the idea of what you wanted, and I just used my imagination just to kind of piece it together. I played around with it. I used to have some equipment that got stolen from me, and I was able to do a lot more stuff. I'm in the process of rebuilding, so some of them are lacking in certain aspects where I'd like to have other things added to the pieces. But I do, some of my old work is still on my art page on Instagram, and most of it's still for sale.
Oh, so, okay. I bet. Some niggas ran down on you, or what happened?
It was in my car one night. Window didn't work. People went through the car. They took my tablet. They took some of the other shit from me.
Damn.
So, yeah.
Okay. So, you working on any other art or anything like that?
I am. I have a painting that I'm doing for a coworker of mine. Shout out to Heather.
Okay, that's dope.
I sell art pieces anywhere from $50 to $200 right now. It just depends on the size of the piece.
That's dope.
I do custom pieces. I kind of add my own creativity into it based off the idea of what people want. Paintings are kind of harder to go back and fix, so usually I tell people, the finished product is the finished product, so you got to be prepared for that. But,
okay. All right. One thing that we definitely have in common, bro, is we both are cooks. That was one thing. And I heard you say earlier that cooking is an art. Do you practice cooking outside of your regular routine?
Oh yeah, I cook at home all the time. My mom, my pops, everybody's always trying to get me to cook for them.
Yeah, definitely.
I have friends that invite me over to their house, and they'll go to Walmart and buy all the stuff and have me cook for them. So
that's horrible.
I know. I can't seem to escape it. I need to start charging people for that shit.
Yeah. No, I know tomorrow for a fact that I'm definitely going to be asked about 15, 16 times, what did I cook? And I'm going to tell them nothing immediately because I have no plans to cook. Tomorrow's the day for everyone to cook for me. Is there a specific cuisine you like to cook or anything like that? I just go with the flow.
Me too. I just kind of go with what everybody's craving.
Yeah. I'm a steak kind of motherfucker.
I like stir fries. I love doing steaks. I love doing pastas. Vegetables, I love cooking with fresh ingredients, man, like chopped garlic, fresh chopped garlic.
Yes. I'm trying to get my hands on two specific things, actually. I want to get my hands on black garlic and Wagyu steaks, but Western steaks is currently out of them because of the internet. The internet has made it so that you can't purchase anything of the sort. Wagyu steaks are currently sold out up until like 2020.
Damn.
That's gone for a while now.
That's crazy.
And the elephant garlic, the black garlic is referred to as elephant garlic, but the black garlic is that's gone for like until next season, which is in the summertime. But another thing is you are a hip hop head as well. I asked you to listen to Melly vs. Melvin.
Yep.
The state of hip hop right now is beat the fuck up.
I think it's almost beat down at this point.
Yeah, definitely. You listen to Melly vs. Melvin though. Tell me, how did you feel about it?
I've never been a huge Melly fan. I'm just gonna be honest about that.
Go ahead.
I'm not hating on him in any way whatsoever. He's very talented. However, I would like to see him do more singing without his auto tune.
Wait, I don't think he does auto tune. I personally don't think he does. I don't, but just because the nigga voice has always sounded like that.
Yeah, I wish he'd do more singing and stop. I'm not a huge fan of mumble rap.
His rap sucks.
Some of them do, yeah, but whenever he sings and his heart's in it, you can hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like that. Melly vs. Melvin, in my opinion, was a good album. It's one of the only ones I've been able to get into, and I think it's a very good album. There's a specific song on there that stood out. It's one of the last ones. It's where he's talking, where he's pretty much talking to God in the whole song.
What was it?
Waiting on You.
Yeah, that was dope.
That one hit me in a way because growing up with my grandmother, she's a very spiritual woman, and I don't know, I felt that song in a way.
Honestly, that doesn't sound that good coming from what the name of the song, but Suicidal was dope. Adam Sandler was dope, and
Adam Sandler was dope too.
100K was one of my favorite songs off the entire album. And Killuminati was dope, but that's Killuminati is a song by Tupac, and that was a really dope song from a long time ago. I don't know why he felt like that was cool to name a song by him. I think it was like a little homage.
Dude, I'm an old school hip hop fan. I was jamming Illmatic for the past 2 days, nonstop by Nas.
I love old school hip hop, but my problem with it is I didn't get to get into it the way I wanted to get into it, and that leads to the state of hip hop as well. Because whenever I did get to listen to it, it was all because I was like, it's not that I was forced to listen to it. It was because people were trying to get me to listen to it, and I didn't understand it then. Because the state of the world is not in the same state as it is then, and it doesn't make as much sense as it did then now.
Yeah.
Because hearing somebody talk about niggas on the block then and now is two different situations. If you pull up on niggas on the block, then you might get shot at then. But if somebody's pulling up on the block now, you're either getting shot at or I don't know. It's the same situation but a different circumstance.
You can't even walk around and share your music the same way because you have to just worry about shit nowadays.
Yeah, it's a different state of mind and a different situation.
They're almost using hip hop as a way to execute things, and music's supposed to be a way to change the world and bring people together, not tear people apart. And it's almost like people using hip hop as a platform to state not to state opinions, but to use it almost as a force.
Yes.
You see so many artists getting locked up nowadays, and the music industry is evil.
Yeah, definitely.
They're tricking young artists into doing things for money, and they're getting caught up for it.
Well, yeah, obviously it's a horrible situation because Melly is the perfect example of an artist. They released the pics from his case, and it doesn't even look the way it seems because they got different bullet holes and different shits and different side angles and shit like that. And obviously it was a setup in some type of manner, but at the same time, the people he would have been set up to get shot at by and shit like that are two people he was really close with. That's a whole different situation. I was gonna go into the comparisons. You put me on Lil Poppy or Lil
Poppa.
There it goes. Yeah. Under Investigation 2.
Yep.
That was a dope ass album. he had two features on there I did not see coming, and they were dope.
Yo.
Because I didn't look at the track list, but I did hear their voices, and I knew who they were immediately. Mozzie and Polo G. Those are two rappers. Mozzie is an old school G. He got out of jail and he hopped in the music scene and has done great since. And Polo G he's more of a last 2 years kind of rapper, and he's been doing amazing in the last 2 years.
I think Lil Poppa's very underrated, and a lot of people haven't discovered him. And I think him having Polo G on there and Mozzie, he also had No Cap on there too.
I had not heard of him until that song.
I think both of them are about to start blowing up. You know, I'd love to see Polo G and Lil Poppa do an album together, just like a whole collab, or a mixtape, something.
Well, see, that's one thing I've learned. The rappers that we listen to are very, very similar, because the rappers that I have been listening to lately, they're like another rapper I'm gonna bring up in a little bit, because I was gonna do a comparison sound and I wanted you to tell me how you felt about the 3 songs. But the 2 specifics, Melly and Lil Poppa, how far apart do you think their music is? Because Melly is
very far apart.
Yes.
Very, very. Because nowadays, especially in the age of mumble rap, it's hard to find. And Lil Poppa, I'm sure, is probably in the category of mumble rap according to people.
No.
Some people would put him there. I wouldn't. But
I feel like you were one of the people who found, not found, but you found him on your own.
Yeah, dude. I was just like, I spend time just finding artists, and then I stumbled upon him accidentally.
Yeah.
And it was a song called Chosen One, and ever since then, I've felt his music so hard. And in this day and age with mumble rap, it's hard to find pure artists nowadays. And him, Polo G, you know, they're some of the hottest rappers right now that people just aren't paying respect to.
Well, I think the thing is, after the mumble rap section came up, they weren't rappers. They weren't meant to be rappers. Lil Uzi's not a rapper.
Nope.
He is a vocalist, and these are the same people who could be rock stars if they learned how to play instruments. These are the same people who ran around in the hood, hopping fences and breaking in houses. These are those rappers. These aren't people who necessarily were ever meant to rap. So when they got the opportunity to hop up out the hood and do some shit with their music, they took advantage of that. But at the same time, whenever they get put in a situation, they don't know how to do anything but revert back to the ways that they knew how to do whenever they were younger, which is why Lil Uzi's running around Philadelphia chasing what's that dude's name? Not Famous Dex. What's the other one? Rich the Kid. Chasing Rich the Kid. That's why Melly's in the situation he's in now. That's why Trippie Redd's fighting people's little brothers and shit like that. These same artists are in the same category. And T Grizzly, yeah. I mean, I ain't. Yeah, pretty much. You're right.
Trippie and 6ix9ine are in the same fucking category.
Yeah, pretty much. They're the exact same people. T Grizzly though, he kind of little bros them all.
I want to backtrack for a second.
Yeah.
Speaking of Trippie Redd, however, I don't know if you've ever heard his song "Can You Rap Like Me," but that motherfucker killed that shit.
Never heard it, but
he killed it, and I was very surprised. I did not believe that it was Trippie when he first did that.
Okay, he did a little bit better than I thought he could. All right, Can You Rap Like Me about Trippie Redd? All right, shit. Okay, I give him that. I don't usually, honestly, I never listen to Trippie Redd.
Me neither. That's the only song where he sounds like that too, in my opinion.
We was talking about T Grizzly. Yep. Honestly, he's in my top 10 rappers. Yeah.
Definitely.
He's in my top 10 rappers. And another person he makes music with consecutively is Sada Baby. And Sada Baby is another rapper that I listen to a lot. The Detroit rapper situation is, I don't really get to listen to a lot of Detroit rappers because the obvious Detroit rapper everybody represents is Eminem, but I don't listen to Eminem. I don't really listen to Eminem.
Personally, I do, but
Go ahead. No. Tell me.
I mean, I do. Like, I grew up listening to him. Now, see, the household I grew up into, rap wasn't really, it was more frowned upon.
Yeah.
So, I kind of had to sneak around listening to my rap music and
Oh,
Eminem
for real?
and all
I've
that.
never met anybody like that.
Yeah,
Go
dude.
ahead.
So you know, hip hop became a huge influence on my life, and some ways good, some ways bad. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there were times where it brought out the G side in me.
What did they want you to
but
listen to?
It wasn't. I grew up in a household listening to '80s rock and roll. You know, the Beatles are one of my favorite bands in the world. I'm a huge John Lennon fan, which actually John Lennon influenced my art, what I call my art movement. I call it the Lennon effect, and to me, that's just spreading peace, love, and happiness with art. You know, the world's so dark right now, man. And
Oh, it's very dark.
if my artwork, if someone can look at it and it can bring some joy to them, then I can die knowing that I made a difference. That I just want to change some things in this world with my artwork.
I have a belief that music influences music, and a lot of the music that was created has been based off a lot of other music. That's what I mean by music influences music. A lot of music has been based off the music that's been made.
Elvis Presley pioneered rock and roll along with the Beatles.
Okay,
you know.
see, nope, that's a horrible example. I'm sorry. Elvis, Little Richard created Elvis Presley. I'm sorry. He made the same. Think about everything Little Richard did. I don't know if you. I don't know.
Who he
Okay,
is.
yeah. And then think
I
about
don't
who.
think that's the same. I think that's more of a. Well,
I'm
more of a
sorry if
jazz,
you can look at it.
jazz category
You
versus
can look.
rock and roll.
You can look at all the clips. I already did it. I had to look at it because I didn't believe it. But
Yes,
it's just
he
because.
influenced Elvis.
Okay, all right,
definitely,
okay,
but
okay.
I'm not denying that, but Elvis. That would be like saying
I
that all
consider
the
it
old
as-
school jazz singers didn't, and jazz and like R&B didn't influence Michael Jackson, because
But that's why I say music influences music,
Yeah.
because if you listen to some of the samples of other rock music, they just create covers for other rock music, and it's because some people's music sounds better than other people's music, and I respect it because if
I'm
you
a
listen
huge
to,
heavy metal fan, bro. I
Yeah.
love rock.
you can listen
You
to
know.
samples of rap music that Tory Lanez just dropped Chinks Tapes Part 2. I think he has 97 samples from other. He has a shitload of samples from other rappers, just because it sounded good on his voice, and I don't think that it sounds better than the original songs, but I mean he decided to do it, and I guess that's good for bro. That's just good for him. I want to see the actual amount that he had. He cleared 17 song samples, which means he took 17 parts from different songs and took them and made other fucking songs. Which, I mean, that's a lot of money. Like, you had to break down other songs to make songs for you. And he only had like 10, 11 songs on the mixtape.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking money. Yeah. So, I mean, for him to, I mean, it was just a lot. And he had to do all that in 10 months. I know that doesn't sound like a lot for anybody to actually understand, but that's a lot of shit. 19 lawyers? That's a lot of work. But
you're talking about Eminem, bro.
yeah.
Fucking-
Eminem is his ability to make music is insane. I think Eminem should be like a rap coach now. He should be
like Coach K.
Yeah. The thing about Eminem is, if I hate to say this the way I'm saying it, and if
He's getting old.
Nah. I hate to say it because the way it's gonna sound is fucked up. But if Eminem was dead now, his icon level would be insanely great. Like he would be God level in Detroit. I don't know if he has statues in Detroit right now, but he would have streets named after him by now if he was dead by now. But because he's not, we just have to wait for a verse or two from him every now and then. That's what we have to wait from Eminem now. So him being who he is.
Well, have you heard Westside Boogie? Boogie that he just signed to Shady, the rapper Boogie.
He does still sign people, doesn't he? I forget about
Boogie,
that.
dude, I swear to God, this dude is better than Kendrick. I think Jid's better than Kendrick.
Jid is fire. I just listened to him
fire,
in the Dreamville
I
mixtape.
need Jid, and Boogie to make a fucking album together.
Okay, I feel you on that. Sada Baby and Grizzly have been making music together, and them songs have been fire.
Yep.
The whole Detroit movement is pretty legit, and that's why I brought up T Grizzly in general, because T Grizzly he has a way of talking shit about people, and that's one of the best things ever. That's why I respect his music, because he just says the shit he feels, and that's one thing that I truthfully point out a lot, is because that's the music. That's rap music was never meant to be held in one spot. It was made for me to express the way I feel, and if I feel like talking shit about somebody, that's just what's gonna happen. But T Grizzly kind of called out Eminem one time.
I heard it.
And yeah, and
on scriptures.
yes, and he kind of called him out, and
He
I
said
don't
something
know.
like, "I'm not Eminem. I'll kill you, him, and him."
Yes, that verse was fucking fire.
It was. I'm not gonna deny it, and I don't think personally he could hold his own against Eminem in a rap battle.
No.
But
That's a lot of work.
But
That's a lot of work.
no, I'm not. I will never deny Eminem the respect that he is due.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. He's an icon.
I've heard plenty of people say I fucking hate Eminem, and then they give him the respect. And me growing up in the house where rap was kind of frowned upon, it was hard to. I had to listen to it quiet on headphones and stuff like that. Now my rock and roll, it was always playing out loud, but
It would be hard to listen to Eminem in the house and such.
I had a rough time in school, man. Like I was the outcast kid. No, I only had a couple different friends, and every year my best friend changed because shit switches up. And I got bullied and beat up a lot in school. So, I eventually grew up and hardened the fuck up. But like, my escape was I'd just go home. My escape would be my artwork. I'd be drawing, painting. I'd be listening to music. I'd be writing poetry. I'd be, reading stuff to try and get smarter about things. And that's just kind of, music's had a big impact on my life. A lot of people try and get me to make music. I just haven't. It takes a lot of money, and if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right, and I'm going to make sure it sounds right.
Well, I feel like you already have the creative gene, so you want to be able to do that. That's part of wanting to create. I wanted to get into the Testimony. Testimony is a song, and Kodak has a song named Testimony.
I've heard it.
Yeah, Lil Osama has a song named Testimony, and an artist named TJ3K has a song named Testimony. I have been promoting TJ3K for about 4 years now. He is one of my, on a list of underrated rappers. He's about, I don't remember what I put him as. I have a list of my favorite rappers, and that's just because I listen to music so much. I got a favorite female singer list. I have a lot of lists because I listen to so much music. I was gonna play these songs, and I just want you to tell me how you feel about them.
All right.
And you just tell me which one you think is your best. Think is the best. Once again, Lil Osama, TJ3K, and Kodak Black. They all have a song named Testimony. The beat of the song is my favorite part of that. That's why Testimony is such a good song. But I can play you another song by this dude, and you will feel completely different. All right, wait a Changed Up by Lil Osama is insane. Wait a second, I can't play it on here because they gonna mess me up. Changed Up by Lil Osama. Everybody look that up. All right, back to where we was at. All right, you heard Testimony by Kodak Black. You heard Testimony by Lil Osama. And you heard Testimony by TJ3K. Do you think Testimony by Kodak Black holds up? Or did you like one of the remixes?
I liked one of the remixes, but it was totally TK.
TK?
Yeah.
All right. TJ3K is TJ3K's music is fire. He drops some fire music, and I've been listening to him for a while now. But the thing about Lil Osama, his music, he does the melodic music and shit like that where you sing and all of that and whatnot. But this song is insane too. And oh God, I'm sorry I keep pausing it, y'all, but it's just so I can show the man this song real quick. I'm going after them niggas. I'm sorry. Yup. I'm not following at no steps. I don't know if you got people like that. I'm sorry. I'm going after them niggas, bro. I'm running down on somebody, bro.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna get a brand new one too. I'm gonna get a brand new strap. Some shiny shit. I don't mean to say that like no fucking nigga though. But yeah. So you said TJ3K. I don't necessarily know if those remixes were set up to create the same sound or to create music of the same sort. But do you think the producers knew what they were doing when they made that music?
Yeah, but I don't know. I still can't get over his voice.
Yeah, the voice is crazy, bro.
It just sounds robotic to me.
The visuals is what's crazy. That's my favorite part.
It was like a movie.
Yes, the visuals is the best part. Besides the fact that them niggas probably use ketchup or paintballs. But everybody got shot and they was using like the red paint. That's crazy. I'm gonna just hit you with a couple freestyles from here on. Some new stuff. I was asking you about white rap. And I don't want that to sound messed up to anybody, but it is a very obvious thing in the world. My favorite rapper is a white rapper. Mac Miller is definitely my favorite rapper.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. a GOAT.
Definitely one of the legends.
Definitely a legend. He if you get the chance, look up Mac. I don't know if anybody's ever not heard of Mac Miller, but Mac Miller is definitely one of the best rappers ever. You got a favorite white rapper?
Definitely.
Go ahead.
Definitely. I mean, Caskey for one.
Okay.
Out of Florida. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. A lot of people haven't, but Caskey, he's like a mix of. He's got like a Yellow Wolf mix to him almost. He's got that ghetto cowboy feel to him.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He drives a Harley in some of his videos. Like, he's a biker. He's out of Florida. Dude's insanely talented. He can sing. He can rap. You know, all the white rappers, in my opinion, for the most part, are good. Like, Lil Dicky's definitely underrated.
Mm-hmm.
He's hilarious. He's like very.
Comedic.
He should do fucking stand up comedy like Donald Glover does.
Mm-hmm.
See who else is out there. Of course, Mac
You mentioned
Miller.
Yellow Wolf. Yellow Wolf
is insane too.
My favorite song by Yellow Wolf is "Kicking," and that's because he pretty much shows where he's from in Alabama.
Yeah.
Skateboarding, motorcycles, fire cars, and everything. Yellow Wolf has always been a great rapper. He was on with Drama Beats. That's Rob Dyrdek's cousin. Yellow Wolf has always been a great rapper. There was something that happened the other day whenever Post Malone got Rap Album of the Year. And everybody was kind of up in arms with that because he got it over Travis Scott.
I don't consider him a rapper. Post Malone, I don't consider him a rapper. That dude's a singer.
Okay.
Rocker.
I think there's a very thin line, though.
He shouldn't even be categorized in hip-hop,
Because
in my
I would
opinion.
put Post Malone and Lil Uzi in the same section.
I wouldn't. I think Post Malone's way more talented when it comes to singing. But Lil
Oh,
Uzi,
no.
if you
When
haven't
I
heard
say
Lil Uzi
when I say
without his
same
auto-tune, he
category,
sounds good.
when I say same yes.
It's like T-Pain.
Yes, exactly. When I say same category, though, I mean I base it off of the rock music inspiration, because whenever you listen to Lil Uzi's like Lil Uzi does a lot with Playboy Cardi. Mm-hmm. And when Lil Uzi is on with Playboy Cardi, he doesn't have to pretend like he's rapping really hard. He always does the ad libs and stuff, and it sounds like he's supposed to be on like a. Because the only rock music that I got to really listen to was when I was in high school, and I used to listen to A Day to Remember a lot.
Oh,
that was
I
my
fucking
favorite
love A
rock
Day to
band.
Remember.
That was my favorite rock band, and that was what I based the rock music I listened to off of, and that's all I really knew. And I've heard Lil Uzi say his favorite rock bands was A Day to Remember, 3 Days Grace, I think.
That's a good band too.
And Green Day, stuff like that.
Music comes in waves. Like in the '90s, hip hop was huge and R&B, and then in the early 2000s, grungy, rock music was big, and then over the past decade, it's kind of been rap again. In my opinion, I think rock's gonna start making a comeback at some point.
And then I think Lil Wayne had a lot to do with the rap rock connection, and that's because he did his rap rock little thing with I don't know if he ever dropped the album, but I do remember he had his little rock music phase and whatnot. And he said, and like you said, everything comes in phases. So, I mean, if Lil Uzi is definitely, he sets himself up to be in the same category as Post Malone, and Post Malone is definitely a rock star. But for him to get Rap Album of the Year over Travis Scott's album,
my opinion, I think Nipsey Hussle should have got it, just out of respect.
Out of respect.
Yeah.
Victory Lap was dope.
Victory Lap was very underrated. I'm a huge Nipsey Hussle fan. It breaks my heart to even know that he's gone still.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Nipsey Hussle's like my Tupac. You know what I'm saying? The way he impacted his community and his style, just the things he did, and Tupac was one of his biggest inspirations.
Okay. Tupac I didn't get to know him for his music because we're the same age, so I understand you being able to listen to him and understand what he's saying. I preferred Biggie over Tupac.
I'm not a fan of either one majorly, but I
prefer exactly.
Tupac
That's what I'm
over
saying.
Biggie.
I respect that, but my family brought me up on Biggie, so that's what I kind of understood.
I kind of prefer old school Dr. Dre over any of them like that.
See, that's what I'm saying.
They came before Tupac. They came before Tupac.
They were producing and everything. Snoop.
They helped produce
honestly, I know more Snoop than either of those.
But
Snoop was always the shit.
When it comes to the community thing that Tupac was and the icon, Nipsey Hussle was that for my generation, in my opinion.
And
whether
if we're really pointing things out,
or not.
Nipsey was inspired by all three of them. Mm-hmm. Nipsey was definitely inspired by Snoop, Biggie, and
even hearing
Dr. Dre and Tupac.
Even hearing YG speak nothing but love about Nipsey, even YG was torn up over that shit. They had a huge connection. They were they were like brothers. You know what I'm saying? And they brought two divided communities together too as well. So
and we're on the East Coast seeing that.
Yeah,
we're on the East Coast.
And that's huge for West Coast to be doing something like that.
Yeah.
Just R.I.P. to them.
I remember whenever I found out. Well, the internet found out that Nipsey Hussle had passed away, but if you look on certain videos of things happening, you can see when the internet found out that Nipsey Hussle died. I don't know if everybody watched 85 South Show, but 85 South Show is a podcast that just goes everywhere, and it's DC Young Fly, Chico Bean, and Carlos Miller. Those are all people from Wild 'N Out. They have a live show, and during the live show, they find out that Nipsey Hussle passed away. And they were super hype, having fun, and during the middle of the live show, 30 minutes in, they find out that Nipsey Hussle dies. And people start crying during the middle of the live show. They go insane during the middle of the live show because Nipsey Hussle passes away they die. He dies in the middle of that. It's a horrible thing to find out when somebody like
and
that.
And to know that it was one of his closest friends that shot him and killed him.
Yeah.
It's just fucked up.
That's just that's a horrible situation, man. For fam to kill you. Well, the way they described him, man, he was recently he just set it up so that he can he won't get charged with a couple things, but gang violence is still gang violence. So they saying that because Nipsey Hussle was affiliated that Eric Holden shouldn't necessarily be charged with what he was charged with, but because of the impact.
I don't think the gang violence is getting any better either. It's
not at all.
As the world goes, it's getting worse. The younger these kids are, kids aren't even fighting no more. They're being told, shoot.
Well, no, I don't necessarily think it's about the gang violence because gangs aren't even really gangs anymore.
Nope.
If you grow up with a certain, I was raised on D&M, Dresden and Myrtle. The people that I was raised with aren't on this block anymore.
Yep.
But the people that I was raised with are my family.
Yeah.
Those are the people that I knew outside of my family. And those are the same people, if they call me right now, if I got to drive to the middle of the country, I will drive to the middle of the country for. Those are the people that is females that I will drive to the middle of the country for. I ain't never done nothing sexual with them, nothing like that. But those females are my like, those are my loves. Those are the shawties that I grew up with. I kill for them. Those are the people I love. So for somebody that you grew up with on your block to be one of the people that hurt you the way that Nipsey Hussle was hurt by him, that's some shit that you can't forgive. But the best part about what happened to Nipsey Hussle was he got to speak his voice. That's the best part about the internet. You get to express how you feel before something like that may or may not happen to you. So, I mean, you know, and he had a child right before then. I mean, you know, stuff like that. His brother, I don't remember what his name is. Something like, damn, I don't remember it. But, I mean, you know, shit. Stuff is set up, I think. So, I mean, you know, so the Melly versus Melvin, you listen to one of them songs, bruh. His shawty, she had an abortion. Fucked him up. He might be set in a situation where he don't necessarily get out now. She had an abortion. His baby, his legacy's fucked up now. That's some bullshit. That's what I mean. He don't get to live anything past what's on the internet now. That's some bullshit. The legacy is based on the internet now. So, you know, it's set up in that manner now, in the way that that's what happens. The next thing I want to speak about, I don't necessarily give too much of a fuck about Drake, but
I like his old stuff.
His old stuff, the best album Drake has ever had was Nothing Was the Same. That was his most fire album. But TK, you ready to TK?
Yeah, I've heard of TK.
TK got some fire. TK got some fire out. He just said that his his manager and whatnot, they promoted him, or they told him to do crimes in order to get more publicity and whatnot. That's what they told him to do. And then he got locked up, and now he's speaking his voice so that he don't get... You smell reefer? I sound like an old nigga talking about reefer.
No, I don't smell no reefer. I wish I smelled reefer.
God damn, I thought I smelled reefer. God damn. Okay. I've been smelling weed for the last 30 minutes. Ah, shit. My bad. I don't know why. We was talking about Drake. No, we was talking about Lil TJ. Fuck, TK. Lil TJ was up next. But TK, that's what they were saying. They were saying that they set him up to do that. But I mean, I feel like you turn 19, you a grown ass man.
Yep. Make your own decisions.
You make your own decisions, bruh. You can only do what you feel. So him, Pimpies, all them little niggas, the little shawties he was with, they locked up for a long time now. He was 19. He got 55 years off that case. It was 19 plus 55. God damn, that's a long time, bro. That's a long time, bro. Oh, my God. Wait. Ooh, 65.
Wait, hold on.
19 plus 55.
19 plus 55? Oh, shoot.
65.
I was about to say, he'd be fine with just 19 years. He'd still be young when he got out.
Bro,
but...
no, bro. Getting out when he like 78. Oh, God. Shit, bro. 78. What's that? 78. Bro gonna die in prison.
Yep.
Bro gonna die in prison.
He ain't getting out.
He ain't getting out at all. That's what they do now. They wait for you to... I mean, you got popping, and the people that he fucked up, the people that are still alive, they suing him for the money he made off the songs and whatnot, because he got a shitload of plays off Spotify. So, I mean, that's what happened. And that's what you get. I mean, I hate for it to be that way. Lil TJ, he was in Canada. Some niggas in Canada ran down on him.
Damn.
Well, they ain't fuck him up.
I thought people in Canada were supposed to be nice.
Yeah. Everybody says that. That's what everybody says.
He get ran down in Canada.
They ran down on him. They ran up on him.
I'd be more worried about the moose coming after me and shit.
Nigga, I don't think that's a real thing either. I don't think I've ever seen a moose in real life, though.
They're in Canada.
They're in Canada?
Yeah.
That's why I've never seen one in real life. Holy fuck. Okay. We was talking about Trippie Redd earlier. Apparently, Trippie Redd, you ever heard of Lil Got It? I don't know who.
Yeah, I think so, but I don't keep up with too many of these mumble rappers.
They're all shit, bruh. That's what I'm saying.
That's why I'm like, why would I even care?
Apparently, Lil Got It got under Trippie Redd's baby mama's pictures and was saying she looked good and shit like that. And Trippie Redd got mad. He's really entitled. He feels like he needs to say shit about all types of shit now. And now the nigga's in his feelings about that shit. I'm gonna move to the shit that actually matters to me. Fuck all of that. Fuck that shit. Here's the shit that really matters to me. A security van in Africa was broken into. And they got a bunch of children out of the van. And they were children that were being trafficked. There was human trafficking.
Messed up.
Either the van is fucked up, the fact that it's a security van, but the fact that they got them children out of there is really good. I seen a little video about women being used for their reproductive organs. I know this is really fucked up to be talking about on a podcast about hip hop music, but they were being used for their reproductive organs. They were being kidnapped for those specific things, and they were being murdered for those things. And the man that was using them, he was a scientist, and he only got 15 years in prison, bro. He was a freaking murderer. That's the worst shit in the world.
Messed up, and since we're on the topic, the sad part is Charlotte is third, or was third. I think it's second or first now, in the country for human trafficking, and also for murders. I love our city and I love our state, but that's just not a good reputation to have. And Atlanta's either number one or number two. So I'm sitting there going like,
that's horrible, bro.
It's a valid topic to talk about because it's a very big thing that's happening in this country that people aren't even. People are ignoring, bro. But more people are starting to take notice of, which it needs to be taken notice of.
Oh my God.
And it's not okay.
That's horrible.
At all to be doing.
Well, Jeff Bezos, I hope that gets better. I'm happy for those children that were taken care of after that situation. They were all released from that van. I don't think they found the person, and I hope they kill that motherfucker that was driving that van, bro. I hate to say that, but I hope he's fucking found and he get fucked up. They be cutting niggas' dicks off in Africa, so.
Oh, Steinbeck didn't kill himself.
Who's that? Oh, the dude that was in jail?
Yeah, he didn't kill himself.
He didn't kill himself? Nah.
He didn't kill himself.
Oh, the really rich dude that had the island where they was. Oh,
Yep.
God, yeah. Epstein.
I said Steinbeck. Yeah. I don't know who Steinbeck is, but
yeah.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah. He didn't kill himself. I don't think he killed himself. I think he's still alive in all fact.
These people are gonna listen to this podcast later and be like, dude.
It's cool. Nah. Yeah. Epstein he's not dead. I don't think.
He's dead, but he didn't kill himself.
You think he's dead, bro?
I think he's definitely dead, but he
one
didn't
of the
kill.
richest
They found
men
him
on
hanging
Earth.
in this.
They found him hanging in a jail, bro.
I know, that's what I'm saying. He didn't kill himself. Someone killed him. But
they found one of the richest men on Earth who has an island where children were being raped and
it's too big of an industry. They probably just kept him alive and it's still going to keep going on.
Exactly. He's back on his island chilling. You think that the president, the person that Epstein had tabs on, would let a man like that be sitting in a jail? I would have snitched on Donald Trump a long time ago.
That guy would have snitched on Clinton and all the other presidents that have probably been there, all the other world leaders that go
still
there.
Married. I would have snitched on her.
If I was Bill, I would have been snitched on Hillary. I'd be like, go.
Your tax bracket changes.
I'd have divorced her and then
you know how rich you can get and your tax bracket changes?
Really.
Like, you know how much money snitching changes by the amount of money you get. Like, Tekashi 6ix9ine, his money didn't change Like, he might have got a little bit more bread. Like, you get into the millions, okay, you got some money. You don't snitch. You get into the billions, my nigga, you can snitch. Because any of that money get gone, all right, fuck that shit. I'm snitching on whoever touch any of my billions. Billions? Billions. That's generational wealth. Like, that's, I can feed my kids now. Like,
And their kids.
yeah,
probably.
their kids. Like when people in my family start to get poor, all right, there's no need to snitch. Like, you poor now, fam. What the fuck are you gonna do for yourself? Fix that to back where we were. But, you know, we still rich. We still good. We got bread. We're wealthy.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no need for you for any of that shit to matter, bro. We don't need to worry about anything else. Epstein's probably still alive somewhere. Yeah. Jeff Bezos, he donated a bunch of money to homeless people. He donated $98.5 million to multiple places in the United States. I didn't go through all the places because it was primarily California,
If
Florida.
my art business ever takes off, or if I'm ever able to open up my own bar and grill, my idea is to employ homeless.
Yeah, I see that now.
Like off gate.
Yeah, no, my the restaurant I used to work at, I'm not gonna say their name because I don't promote restaurants or places that don't promote me, but the place I used to work at, they used to have people go out and find homeless people, and they would have them come clean the dishes for a day or two. They'd only give them like $50, but I mean, and it most likely went to crack and shit like that.
No, I meant
but,
like give them an actual job.
yeah,
like
yeah,
employ
yeah,
them.
yeah, but
And be like, look, you still gotta figure out your stuff, but here's a job.
for a
You
day
do
or two.
good, you can save up and get on your feet.
It
kinda
sounds fucked
situation.
up what I said, but you know, yeah, I mean, you give somebody as much money as you possibly can. You do what you can for people. And the last thing, this was the one thing that I actually found to be pretty cool. It was actually pretty dope. Akon, you're aware of Akon, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I love Akon, man.
Yeah, Akon's dope. He
That's one of my generation's R&B singers,
yeah,
man.
convict music, bro.
Love Akon, bro.
He built in a city in Senegal called Akon City, and it's based off renewable energy, and it's gonna have a fucking airport. Airport, that's the coolest shit, but I don't know how that can be used
He's
for renewable energy.
got a lot more money than people know.
Well, his money's based in Africa. That's what I think the cool part is. I want to go to Africa, but I don't really know where I would go in
If
Africa.
his money was based here, he probably wouldn't have as much.
True.
Be able
true,
to do
true,
as
true.
much with
Well,
it.
I think he's got money over here and over there.
Yeah.
That's what I think he
It
set himself
changes
up for.
from more over there, probably.
Yeah. His bread is set up for a couple different things. I think he really set himself up in a good place.
I wish he'd make more music.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think he said I was looking at an interview where he said he was putting himself in a place where he could hit the studio a lot more, but I think he has more music over there than he has over here because the what was he talking about? Fuck, I think it just goes further over there than over here. He when he makes music over here, I mean, he obviously he plays it over here and over there and everything. You can get it in both places, but he's just more popular over there than over here, obviously, you know.
Yeah.
Because over here, the music, I know he does a lot of Afro beats and stuff like that, and he's really popular when it comes to New York and stuff like that. Cause
Shout out Jay-Z on that New York shit.
New York shit's been
I
popping
love
a
Jay-Z.
lot. Jay-Z's
man.
dope.
He's not given the respect he's due sometimes.
No, he's a real inspiration when it comes to hip hop music and entrepreneurship. Jay-Z's part of the reason that I believe in putting money in different places. Cause
Remember back when Jay-Z and Nas had that beef?
oh yeah, niggas actually died from that shit. No, not even just Jay-Z and Nas. Jay-Z and Dame Dash, bro.
Yeah.
Niggas
Well,
died
back
from
when
that shit.
Eminem had beef with what was his face?
50?
No, 50 was on Eminem's side. Cause that's
I'm thinking about Ja Rule, my bad.
That's
yeah.
back when Proof got shot, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Proof got killed.
Mm-hmm.
Spitting these facts and spitting these wet. Nah, I already got tongue twisted. Goddamn.
Spitting these facts, you spitting these raps, you got that shit. Going on this bitch, you got that shit. Go ahead, I got you.
Spitting these facts, I'm spitting these raps. Everybody know me, don't count me out, now that's a fact. Pull up on them, I smoke for breakfast, I smoke for lunch, I smoke for dinner, damn, I smoke too much. I roll a Dutch and I chop it up. I smoke with my people, I smoke too much. I don't understand it, where's the knowledge? I need it, damn it, everybody knows you can't. Fuck.
This Dresden Street, beat your bitch, she suck my meat. Smoke a blunt, I got this shit. Roll a sheet in this bitch, raw shit. In this bitch, raw shit. Got the heat, pull that bitch back up, bruh. Don't smoke weed, don't smoke shit. Unless I got it, get it.
Hey, all of my homies, they smoke. All of my homies, they smoke. None of them choke. Pull up on you and hit you inside of your roof. Yeah, hit you inside of the dome. Never gonna speak, never at home. Ring the doorbell, but never gonna knock. Don't wake me up. Wait, I forgot. Grabbing the Glock when I brush my teeth. Brushing my teeth. Brushing my teeth. Hold up, wait a minute. I'm losing my speech.
Y'all niggas keep making me rap and shit, bro. Fuck y'all niggas.
Ain't nobody make you rap, bro, but come on, Cam,
Street.
you got the shit, and that's a fact. Don't hold me back. Come on, man, spit that shit.
D&M, that's drugs and money. I'm smoking weed, and I'm getting money. Leave me alone. I'm going back home. Then I'm going to work. Still in my zone. I'm smoking blunts. I'm 49. I pulled that shit. Nigga never seen a 9. Hey, this that solo beat. Smoking hella weed, and I'm smoking. Nah, I'm done. All right, fuck it. Nah, that was it. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired. I'm done. Yeah, I don't rap, bro. I told y'all niggas this shit, bro. I'm done with this shit.
You made me rap
Still
today.
ain't pay for the beat. I'm done with this shit, bro. I'm sorry.
You
my
made
bad.
me rap today,
All right,
bro.
bro.
I don't
That
even
was
rap.
Prodigal, bro.
I don't even
told
rap.
I told these niggas I wasn't gonna rap on this podcast, bro. I said that shit.
I don't
I
even
told
rap.
These niggas, but they keep
I
trying
don't
to make me
even rap.
freestyle. They was in the inbox talking about Cam freestyle. Nah, you can freestyle, bro. Nah, I don't freestyle, bro. I'm done with this shit, bro. I don't rap. I'm not a rapper. I don't do that shit.
I don't
bro.
rap.
I started a podcast, so I got this equipment. And
I do
told
artwork.
I told them I got this
I'm
equipment.
an artist,
and I
not
said,
a rapper.
I said I got all the equipment I need to be either a SoundCloud rapper or to start a podcast. And I started a podcast because I don't want to be a SoundCloud rapper. I don't do this shit, bro. That's what I said. I know how to be a rapper. I don't want to be a rapper. That's the thing. I'm done with rap. I'm done with that shit. That was like high school shit. I'm done with that shit. But anyway,
I didn't even want to do it.
this has been a great episode of the Myrtle Street Podcast.
You better delete the other tapes of that
got
shit
you.
before we put anything on there.
I got you. It'll
That
be
last
gone.
one right there's the
I
only
got
one
you.
we're using.
That's because I went in on it, bro.
Yeah, I wasn't alone fucking up.
I rock with this one. This was a great industry talk, bro.
Hell
Fucks with
yeah,
you, fam.
bro.
I'm gonna have you back on the
I
Myrtle
missed
Street
you, bro.
Podcast,
Hey,
bro.
one thing, I want to send my condolences to the Bradley Bradford family. Good friend of mine, he took his own life on Friday night. And another friend of the communities, actually, in Mount Pleasant, Nate Eisenhower, was killed the other night as well. So, and our boy Hunter was also murdered this month. So we have 3 communities hurting right now. So I just want to send my condolences, send our prayers up.
We've been losing a lot of people lately, bro.
Yeah, everybody be safe.
It's rough out there, man.
Talk
shout out
to
the
somebody if you got
families.
some mental issues. Like, I don't mean that to sound bad, but if you got stuff going on, make sure you talk to somebody.
It's rough out there, bro. Sometimes you just gotta breathe, bro. Shout out to everybody, fam. Everybody. Shout out everybody that's helped me with this podcast in the last few weeks. Shout out Kyle Harris. He's been a very big supporter since the beginning of the podcast. The first episode. I want you on for an episode, bro. Shout out Deuce Beats, Gutter. I want y'all on the podcast, bro. I rock with y'all. I ain't even met Deuce Beats yet, but I mean, fuck with his music. Shout out OTG. He ain't been on the podcast yet, but I want him on the podcast, man. Shout out Porch, little homie. He ain't heard the podcast yet. He don't even know he on this episode, but shout out to homie. Shout out Darian. Shout out Darren, Brian.
Darian, Brian.
Shout out to fam. Shout out Joshua Wilson, because this happened in her basement. Shout out everybody. Shout out Pastor Anthony, because, you know, he been a supporter since day one. Shout out everybody, you know. I rock with all the Concord, y'all fam. Shout out everybody. Y'all do real good to support me. And I apologize for all the cursing, but that's just what happens with this rap music.
We're real.
I apologize. That's just I truthfully do apologize. But thank you for listening. This has been another great episode of the Myrtle Street Pod. Oh yeah, links one more time. If y'all set for this whole thing, links. Go ahead one more time, bro. Go ahead.
My Instagram is the_Lennon_effect22. That is my art page. And actually, you know what? You can add me on my personal too. It's Prodigal. Hold on. I'm very unprepared to get this shit out.
Edit point. Remember that edit point.
It's my personal is Prodigal96, but it's spelled Prodigalz 96.
Yes, and I'm setting up the Myrtle Street Podcast Instagram page soon. But until then, just hit me on my page at KAMO_DRESDEN. Hop on the Myrtle Street Podcast YouTube page because that's something new. Shout out everybody that's been supporting. Thank you again. This has been another episode of the Myrtle Street Podcast featuring Prodigal. Y'all have a nice day. I still ain't paid for the beat though. I still ain't paid for the beat though.